The energy that has been going around has been crazy. And I know that, we are getting into spooky season. During spooky season, lots of energetic events happen. Sometimes those events can be targeted at individuals, and sometimes those events are just generally done to affect the overall collective. I'm not talking about positive energy, I'm talking about negative energy. There are people, and we know in this world that there are people that will try and target individuals for their energy, or they will try and throw magic or hexes, or use that energy that they harvest to claim things for themselves. Right now the energy it's coming in fast. We are in October, as I said, which I'm just going to call it spooky month because this is when some of these events kick up. I think they can start on the 13th, and I'm not an expert, I just have heard that. But there's lots of hidden things that happen during this time, and some of this can be targeted, like I said, at individuals, or it can be targeted at a collective. Perhaps there's somebody in the media that people are pissed off at, or perhaps there's somebody on social media that's people are pissed off at. And this can generally happen in small groups, or these events can be coordinated on a larger scale, smaller groups with the same kind of collective ideology that work together, with their local friends to change the energy either of the collective, like you, or of the overall energy of the planet. Oftentimes, if somebody is causing you trouble, personally, it will happen during a time when you are unsuspecting, or if your energy is not at frequency to defend yourself. These individuals can work by themselves. It could be just one person, or two or three, or it could be a group working together, as I said, or even a larger organization. But what this can be is like a systematic targeting of an individual, or a systematic targeting of a collective group, or a collective as in all people, trying to create a collective trauma. And if it is targeted at you, you will know it, because you will wake up feeling, say it's done during the night time, which many times these things can be done at night. When you're sleeping and you're unsuspecting, you will wake up the next day and you will feel just wiped out, like you didn't get enough sleep, or even worse, your sleep will get interrupted if you feel this energy. These people, they deal in the dark arts. That's their calling card. I'm not here to cast stones at anybody, but I think that overall that the collective, including these people, can benefit from positive, loving, divine energy. They feel a need to deal with negativity. Some of them can even be trying to cause somebody's demise, the demise of their business, the demise of their finances, the demise of their familial relationships or their friendships, or even demise of their divineness. So they do that through trauma, creating trauma, whether it's through bullying or whether it's through actual physical trauma, or whether it's through emotional abuse. These are all different ways that somebody, a single person, or many people, or a few people, can systematically bring down somebody's frequency so that they can then get in and cause death to a situation, a literal death. Their whole thing is they want these things to be done in the dark. They're not going to tell you what they're doing. They're going to keep things from you if they're targeting you. And if they're targeting the collective, they're going to not tell the collective either. So these are things you may see on social media, traumatic things on TV, or you may hear about, or even significant things that affect you and your family. You may know or feel who that is. You can even feel sometimes an anxiety, either in your solar plexus, in your heart chakra. You can feel pain, and worse, it could be physical pain. But right now, I am talking about something that is more on the level of, targeting in a spiritual way. I know I hear a lot on YouTube that many people are going through this, and that many people are having to consciously cleanse, consciously pray, consciously meditate, consciously eat healthy, consciously cleanse, keep in touch with your ancestors, be grateful. All these conscious acts can help protect you from spiritual attacks, from spiritual warfare. And if it's warfare, it means that probably there is one person that is consistently targeting you, or there is more than one person that collectively this group is targeting you. It's imperative that you get out in nature, do things that bring you joy, be grateful. And I can't say enough about being grateful, because when you give gratitude, you are giving your highest vibration, because it takes a lot of courage to say thank you, whether it's to the people around you. Maybe you have to say thank you to somebody that you don't want to say thank you to, or Maybe you just aren't in the practice of being grateful for what you have. Maybe you're broke. Maybe you don't feel grateful. Maybe you're pissed off that you're not in a better situation. And that's easy to feel, especially with runaway inflation, the prices, and people committing crimes and people harming each other, and we're seeing horrible things on TV, all these different things. You can easily say, what do I have to be grateful for? I can barely pay my rent. What do I have to be grateful for? Well, start small. Start small. And it sounds trite. It sounds like, silly. It sounds unimportant. But it really is a way to begin to raise your vibration. In this day and age, there are people targeting you, especially if you're on social media, especially if you're a public figure, especially if you're on TV, a celebrity, a politician, or just a prominent figure of some kind. People can take your image. With AI, they can do all kinds of stuff with your image. And the whole goal is to undermine your self-esteem, which will in turn bring your vibration down. They can target you financially. They can follow you. They can do all kind of crazy things. I mean, it's only up to the imagination. But leading up to Halloween, this kind of energy kind of builds and builds and builds and builds. I like Halloween. I enjoy the fun of it. But as time goes on, Halloween is becoming more and more popular and more dark. And so we have to be sensitive about what we are opening the door to, especially if your frequency is low and somebody is pissed off at you, or somebody thinks you are a threat, or you're saying something that they don't want to hear, or they don't like the way you look, or they don't like the way you sound, or they don't like where you're from, or they don't like your diction or your grammar or whatever. They don't like your color. They don't like whatever. It's endless, the possibilities of what somebody cannot like about you. They don't like your age. They don't like that you're not like them, basically. And remember, an opinion is just an opinion. It's not a truth. Okay? So just because somebody has an opinion doesn't mean that that is truth. Because over time, an opinion that was projected to be a truth can be found to be false. Maybe somebody doesn't know who you are because they never took the time to find out who you are. Maybe they think you're stupid. Maybe they think you're broke. Whatever they think. Maybe they think you're unenlightened. They're judging you. Maybe you don't go to church. Maybe you do go to church. Maybe you're part of this organization. Maybe you're not part of this organization. I mean, the possibilities are endless at why somebody will throw spiritual warfare or negative energy at you. And so this is just a reminder to be consciously aware that, especially in this time of year and also in December, these things happen to protect yourself. Consciously protect yourself before you go to bed. Consciously protect yourself when you wake up. Protect your children. Protect your home. Protect your finances. Just speak protection over everything. Pray. You can repeat different verses and read verses, biblical verses. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, things like that. This is just me telling you that I'm feeling this energy, and I've heard others speaking upon it. And so I'm sending protection to all of you out there. I'm sending blessings and consciously sending you protection over yourself and those that you love and those that love you. And with that said, peace, love.